And I remember going to workshop on PWA centers, kind of like the Aliveness Project, and there just being this huge, huge argument about how these centers would continue, because what was happening were the executive directors were dying. I'd be the executive director and then I'd be dead 6 months later, 3 months later, and then someone else and someone else and someone else. And this tension between how can we create something that is sustainable with, I mean, it's a horrible phrase to use, but with this level of turnover. And there was just a huge tension throughout this whole conference between those that were at the conference who were positive and those that were at the conference that were there to help. It was pretty clear that there was this huge divide at the agency between management and the direct service staff, who believed they were doing God's work and management was out to get them. And I was trying to figure out how to get to know even what MAP was doing. I would be identified as, I remember at one time this guy on CCO radio talked about me as, he talked about the woman from the Minnesota AIDS Project, she's a lesbian, blah, blah, blah. And then he called me to apologize. And I remember saying, you know, this is worse, you calling me to apologize than you having said it. You know, I don't really care. It had come before I started at MAP from the Department of Health to do case management. And that required, because it was a public health grant, reporting on risk behavior of the clients. So on a monthly basis, the case managers were to ask the clients about their sexual behaviors that month. How many times did they engage in sex? How many times was it protected sex? And then get into the specifics. Oral sex, was it anal sex? Was there a condom? Was there not a condom? And the staff at MAP basically said, screw it, we're not asking the clients this. So when I started at MAP, I think there were like, I don't remember the exact number, maybe 200 some odd people that we were case managing. A very few of them through DHS. And then we had this contract, I believe, for 180 clients from MDH. And there wasn't a single client in that program because they wouldn't ask the questions.